let's begin. Flat Earth 2020. How bad could it be? Maybe we'll become flat earthers. You never know. I'm open-minded. Maybe we'll become flat earthers right now. Okay, full disclosure, I've watched the first 6 or so minutes of this.
Hi, my name is Martin Kenny.
Okay, this is
I'm
Martin
a student
Kenny.
of flat earth geocentric science, cosmology, astrology, anthropology, and spirituality. Over the last few years, I've dedicated my life to trying to rediscover and share the true secrets of who we are, where we are, and where we're going.
And my name is Norb Chufis. I'm an artist, producer, and enthusiast of the divine arts and vibrations.
Chufis, everyone.
I'm also a student of Martin's work and have the privilege of being his conduit to present this information to you in an engaging way. The yin to the yang of this beautiful body of knowledge,
the yin to the yang of his beautiful body.
Do you ever wonder who or what are we?
It's not gay, guys.
Are there others like us?
It's not. It's
Where
not gay.
And are there other places like this? When and how did we get here? And have we been here before? What are we doing? Why on earth are we here?
Alright.
How did all this life begin? And where are we going? Our cosmic cycles of space, time, and matter.
I'm gonna keep a running tally of how many times they say things that a Nazi would say. I will drink
holy books,
each time
science,
they do it. How about that? How about that instead
reality and inner
of me
knowing.
creating a whole fucking
Mother
graphic?
Nature meets Father Time. A 168,000-year journey into our existence, our time capsule, our home.
You're so sweet.
It's quarter past the 5th epoch.
Oh, it's
Do
quarter
you know
past,
where your
guys.
consciousness is?
Do you know where
For
your
those with eyes to
consciousness
see
is?
and ears to hear,
I
the
don't
year
know.
2020
I don't know.
marks one of the most important events in our history. Let us
Charlie,
help
do
you
you know where your
prepare,
consciousness is?
understand, and
No,
be
you
aware
don't. You
of
have
the
a very
changes to
small
come
brain.
in our world.
That's okay though. You're smart sometimes. Universal disclosure. Oh no, the meter is still there. Oh no, I got rid of my frame, not the image. Oopsies. I'm a little bit of a boomer. My bad.
This body of work is a hypothesis and theory based on syncretic research. This research
What is
meant to
syncretic
unite people
research?
and open up discussions about our reality. All we ask is that you be kind to each other once you watch this and start discussing
kind.
and dissecting it. We also ask and strongly encourage you and everybody to re-upload and mirror this on any and every platform. Redub it in your language. Do reaction
Okay,
videos.
cool.
Make
That's fine, I
screenshots,
agree with that.
remixes, refixes, and get
And see, this is what lets me do this because they said,
last disclaimer,
please
some of the maps
put it
on these
everywhere,
models
do
and
reaction
elements are
videos.
not
That's what
to
this
spec and edit
is.
them to be as
We're
visual as
reacting.
possible. So don't mind some of
I've
the
only
maps
seen
being
3
off,
minutes past this
distorted,
point.
or totally
So
wrong.
from that
They are
point
meant for
onwards,
representation purposes
it's
only.
fucking
So, grab your
lawless
snacks
wasteland.
and drinks and get ready to have your mind blown. Let's go.
Ready to have your mind blown, chat.
Before we get into the details, it's
Charlie,
extremely
please.
important
Please
that
stop
you
licking my
have a
pants,
full
please.
understanding of the construct of our geocentric electromagnetic universe.
I love you, but
If
you're
you're not
very...
familiar with this geocentric model, we're going to leave links in the description for you to catch up on the
I'm
basics.
just wondering, like,
In short,
did
we're
they,
not
like,
on the
pay
ball.
for these 3D
Our
graphics? Because these are
currently
fucking
consists of
nice.
4 concentric rings of physical land, beginning and spiraling out from the 0-point axis at the center of the plane, just like a drop of water that falls into a larger body of water, therefore creating a ripple effect, beginning from its point of impact, concentrically
Are you a flat
expanding
earther, Charlie?
outwards. The very middle
Probably.
center of this vast earthly concentric plane
think anything
is what's
exists
known
beyond
as
our
the
block,
0-point
so.
axis. This is what we refer to as the magnetic North Pole.
That's not true. You've been
This
places.
central pole is not just a symbolical metaphor, but an actual physical marker.
He's only
said
5
to be a
months
magical,
old.
or should I say, magnetic pillar, sometimes referred to as a holy mountain or the tree of life. The first big red pill you're gonna have to swallow is that beyond all these dimensional fields of energy from where we are now, in our northern and southern extremities, are other extraterrestrial lands inhabited by other extraterrestrial civilizations. This is what we might call extraterrestrial outer and inner space, extraterrestrial outer and inner Earth.
I'm sorry. So, first of all,
It sounds crazy.
wait a minute. Wait 1 minute here. Okay, you can only get it at 360p, but that little label
Just bear
definitely
with
said
me.
Aryan, so we're gonna drink
Each of
for
these
that.
four-dimensional rings of Earth have their own eco, lunar, solar systems and seasons, and their own sun and moon.
Okay. So this one is over here. This one is the Aryan disk, and we're here. So he's saying that the North Pole is its own fucking planet, or levitating disk of land. Let's let him tell us.
Which would be our current 7 wandering stars. Saturn and Jupiter being the solar sun and lunar moon of the outermost ring, domain, or realm of Earth. Mars and Venus being the solar sun and lunar moon of the next concentric domain of Earth inside that. This Mars and Venus domain would be the main realm beyond our southern Antarctic boundary and the Aurora Australis electromagnetic field. Then, of course, we have our own solar sun, Apollo, and lunar moon, Artemis, in this domain. And last but not least, Mercury within the inner central realm beyond our northern Arctic boundary and Aurora Borealis electromagnetic field. This inner star, Mercury, is androgynous, both a solar sun and lunar moon in one. It's sometimes referred to as the inner Earth sun, or black sun, or planet Nibiru, or planet X. Now, the full expanse of our
Is it-
entire earthly plane with all
is
the
it
different
though?
realms would be what the ancient Greeks referred to as Mother Gaia, the Kemetic Egyptians called the Benben or Mother Geb, and the Indo-Vedics referred to as the Bhumandala. In this presentation, we're going to explain and show how the spiral expansion of space, time, and matter began and continues to be. Let's go.
What's wrong,
This
Charlie?
calendar is a modern
Oh, you
interpretation
don't
and mix
like
of
it?
the Aztec Mayan calendar,
What are you working at?
Egyptian dendrostone,
What's the matter?
various Chinese and Indian
What's the
dawn
matter?
rings, as well as other ancient cosmological
What's the
and
matter,
universal
sweet
clocks
boy?
and calendars. Many ancient cultures,
Are you okay?
civilizations, mystics, and researchers
It's
have
okay.
created and depicted
There's
various
nothing going
cosmic
on
clocks and
here.
calendars over the ages.
You're just sitting on my
Some
lap.
simple,
Calm down.
others complex,
Oh,
but
please
one
don't
thing
lick my
is for
face.
sure. They all knew that the first thing we're going to do is lay a typical 12-hour dial. We're going to follow this by also laying 12 months of the year.
I'm sorry.
And follow that ring by a ring of the 12 zodiac signs matching up to each month.
What?
The next ring is going to represent our 4 seasons: autumn, winter, spring, and summer. The ring inside
No.
this one is going to represent our 24-hour clock, with 6 p.m. being represented at 12. The next ring is our meridian. We have midnight, quarter past, half past, and quarter to. And inside this ring are going to be our 4 concentric lands, eras,
What?
ages, civilizations,
How are you
and solar
putting
systems. As stated, we've already
time
had 4 epoch
and
cycles, which are
places
currently a quarter
on the
past
same
fifth.
axis? I'm sorry. So he's reorganized how we think about time into a circle, right? That makes sense. That's fine. But he started with hours, and then he did at the outside, the largest part of the circle, the part that takes, the most time to traverse. He started with hours, and then days, and then months, and then zodiacs, which are like, what? Also a month? Why? What? Okay. Zodiacs are also a month, so I don't see why you did that. And then you did the seasons? And then you did days? Like, why aren't you stacking these in order of fucking from inside to outside go hours, days, months, zodiacs, seasons, years? Like, why do you arrange them in this fucking random haphazard thing? And then why do you put the 4 earth rings inside all of that? Because that doesn't make sense either. That doesn't make sense either.
Now, just as there are 4 earthly physical realms, there are also 4 physical humanoid root races associated with the creation of each realm.
Uh-oh.
These 4 root races
Not the root
are
races.
the Hyperboreans, Lemurians,
Oh. Okay, this isn't some, like, weird
Atlanteans,
ethno-Nazi shit.
and Aryans.
Maybe it's some
There's
Nazi
also
shit.
a
We'll
5th
drink
race
to
of
that.
beings that lives in the center, Mount Meru, of our Earth. This is the master root race, the Polarians. Unlike the other 4,
Just a tip. I just have a tip for you. If you're making... I just have a little tip for you. If you are making a crazy conspiracy theory, which, let's go ahead and just classify this currently as a crazy conspiracy theory. I am the foremost expert on crazy conspiracy theories, so I am more than qualified to do that. If you're creating backstory to your conspiracy theory, don't call anything a master race. Just don't do it. Don't use the term. You should just say progenitor race, or the ancient ones, or the star seed race. Like, you know, say something lofty that lets you know that, like, ooh, they're so advanced and mysterious, and like, oh, they seeded life on this planet. But don't call them a master race, but only because of the immediate Nazi association. Especially when you have another fucking race called the Aryans. You can't just... Oh, this man, whoever this man is, just didn't learn real history in school. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's keep going.
the Polarians are semi-ethereal, meaning not completely physical beings. They do not have a definitive skin pigment, size, color, or race.
Alright.
Having said that, they are often depicted as being somewhat indigo-bluish, translucent beings.
So they're
The
not
very
Spirit
middle or central
Bigfoot. Got
point
it.
of Earth is where the Earth and the heavens meet, and this is where the gods live.
Again, who
We
did all your
propose
3D
that the
graphics? Because they're
Polarians
kind
are
of
able to
good, and I
transverse
wish they
between
were
the two
used for
worlds,
something better than
heavens or
this.
spiritual realms above and Earth/physical planes below. Anyway, these Polarians began the human race at pole position. They were the very first forms of earthly beings to manifest
Pole Position's a
on
good
this
game.
plane. All the other 4
I played that.
races were seeded by the Polarians, hence the term master race. We could also call the Polarians the guardians of the Earth.
Why didn't you lead with that? Why didn't you lead
So
with
this first
the Polarians are the
Polarian
guardians
epoch,
of the
the
Earth
first 24,000 years,
instead of...
centered around the cosmic tree of life,
You know what?
was regulated by the
I've already
grand
made that
heavenly
point.
first and largest solar system,
I'm done here
Neptune and Uranus.
at that point.
The highest and first 2 wandering stars were sun and moon of our universe, albeit semi-ethereal in nature. And at the end of their epoch, the Polarians completed their first cycle or circle of cosmic time, 24,000 years of experience. This was
Okay.
the end of their epoch.
Okay.
At this point, the Polarians created their very first physical manifestation, and so the Hyperboreans realm and root race are created. A new physical paradigm emerges, unfolding out of the North Polar Center Axis, aka the very first ripple. We could also
Okay.
say the Tree of Life gave birth to its first physical fruit or seed. This process is what we might call a pole shift, the very first pole shift of our Earth.
Alright, so we're cramming pole shifts into there. There's no North and South Pole in this, and you're giving us a pole shift. Pole shifts, oh my god. Pole shifts are supposed to be, for those of you who don't have a degree in batshit crazy, like me, pole shifts are supposed to be when the North Pole of the Earth and the South Pole of the Earth reverse, which causes, like, so the magnetic core of the Earth, the molten iron core of the Earth, flips upside down, right, in like a day or two. And then that causes all of the layers above the Earth's core to start sliding around, and it causes like big earthquakes and whole continents move, and like it's crazy. Oh my god, it's a big fucking deal. in other conspiracies. Like, that's what happens when there's a pole shift in other conspiracies. You don't have a second pole to shift with. Where's the South Pole? There isn't one. There's just a fucking... Why? Why am I doing this?
This new Hyperborean realm comes complete with its own solar system to regulate its physical space, time, and matter.
Okay.
The very first sun
Okay,
and moon
it's its
are
own
also
thing.
created, Jupiter and Saturn.
Jupiter and
However,
Saturn.
at this stage, they are androgynous. They are one. They are not separated. They
Wait a
only
minute.
separate at the end.
Why
of
are
their
Jupiter
epoch.
and Saturn the first
This
ones?
is the
Shouldn't it
first
be...
domain to experience fully physical
Okay,
earthly
whatever.
space, time, and matter, all
Whatever.
regulated by the very first earthly solar system. This Hyperborean realm
Maybe my
that
comically
unfolds out
large
the
glass
center
of
pillar
wine
is
wasn't
the very
comically
first
large
Garden
enough.
of Eden, surrounding the Tree of Life,
Mm.
Mount Meru at the center.
There you go. Get your Bible
Keep
in
this
there. That's
mind
that's
for the
Eden.
rest
There you
of the
go.
creation process.
It's
Every
hitting
time
the-
a new ripple comes out,
It's hitting
it
all
is
the
new Garden of
conspiracy
Eden.
check boxes.
Over the next 24,000 years, during their epoch, the Hyperborean realm was gradually pushed outward, away from the center, as a
That would
new
be
realm
fun.
and physical root race.
You know what would be fun? You know what would be a fun project? If I made, like, a conspiracy theory bingo card. And you could randomize your own bingo card by moving all the different tiles around. And then, the next time we do something like this, everybody has their conspiracy bingo card, and whoever gets bingo first wins. Block number 1, some Nazi shit. Block number 2, the term master race. Block number 3, spirit Bigfoot. Gotta have spirit Bigfoot. You cannot have a good conspiracy theory unless you explain that Bigfoot isn't just like a regular like animal. He's also capable of entering an energy mode where he becomes pure energy and he's a master of stealth and karate. It's 100% serious. There are people that believe that. I'm not even fucking lying to you.
Was created. The
Please
second
watch my Bigfoot
Lemurian
video.
realm and root race is seeded. A second pole
Maybe
shift,
he's not a master
and
of
again,
karate,
a new
but...
paradigm emerges, pushing the old Hyperborean realm outwards and away from the central pillar or tree of life. This is
Oh.
also where Saturn, aka Kronos, and Jupiter, aka Rhea, separate and start their orbit. This second realm, the Lemurians, also get their own sun and moon.
I
which is at
see.
that point in time
It doesn't
also
like
androgynous.
summon a new
sun
ring
and moon
around
in
it.
one,
It comes out
which
from
will
the
in
inside. That's
24,000
why they were
years be
first.
known
Got it.
as Mars and Venus. During this epoch, the Lemurians are the Garden of Eden, and Mars and Venus, the androgynous sun and moon, regulates its cycles, seasons, and ages of this new realm and domain. Don't forget, the Lemurians were also seeded from the Polarians, the master root race, and not the Hyperboreans going inward. All races were created and seeded from the Polarians. So the Lemurian
Okay.
realm is the second Garden of Eden, and again, after a cyclical time, when their epoch ends, they too were pushed outward to make way for the third root race. The Atlantean realm and root race is seeded.
Okay.
This is pole shift number 3.
Right.
Mars and Venus
We're on
now
our third
separate
cosmic
into two
age.
and start their orbits. This new Atlantean realm, like the previous two, was seeded with its own androgynous sun and moon that will eventually turn into Apollo, our sun, and Artemis, our moon, to regulate and
I like
control
calling
cycles,
our
seasons,
sun and moon
ages
Apollo
of
and
that realm.
Artemis. Artemis, rather.
This Atlantean root race and realm is the one we currently inhabit.
It's a little bit more
All human
cinematic.
races in this realm of Earth are predominantly Atlanteans. You are an Atlantean. During this Atlantean epoch,
I'm an
we
Atlantean.
in this realm were the
That's where
Garden
we're
of
going
Eden
next.
at
We're
the
gonna go to
center.
fucking Atlantean
And
high-heeled
once again,
priestesses.
over cyclical time, 24,000 years, history repeats itself. Atlantis fell, or rather sank, when the Great Deluge or Flood happens, and
Mhm.
reset us from the center to where we currently are, also finally setting Apollo and Artemis into their orbit. And so the Aryan root race was seeded out from the fourth and most recent pole shift. This is the current Garden of Eden.
So
And to
we're
give us a
actually
point on our
like
timeline, This Aryan
better
race
than the
and realm
Aryans.
was
Okay.
seeded about
I take
6,000
it back.
years ago.
Okay. I take it back. They're reverse Nazis, because the Aryans are like shitty little upstart kids and not like some sort of cosmic superior to us. They're just, oh, those young fucking whippersnappers still got it easy in the Garden of Eden. Arrgh.
Go to join the human race. And as our fractal pattern continues, just like the realms before it, the Aryan realm was birthed with its own solar system, Mercury, its androgynous sun and moon, to regulate and control the cycles, seasons, and ages of that new
Okay.
domain.
So
And
he's
so,
saying,
here we are, 6,000 years into the Aryan or fifth epoch.
so in 18,000 years, the Tree of Life is going to give birth to a new center ring. The Aryan ring is going to expand out, and it's just going to fucking rip our continents apart. Wait a minute. No, there's not even a fucking Garden of Eden at the North Pole. Why am I even entertaining this? Continue, please, Mr. Crazy Man.
In summary,
what's your
We
name?
have 5 epochs so far. The Master Race, the Polarians. 24,000 years later, the Hyperborean realm was created. 24,000 years after that, the Lemurian realm was created. Then the Atlantean, then the Aryan. And according to many ancient scriptures, mythologies, and mystics, there are 2 more epochs to come, meaning 7 epochs, 7 earthly realms, and 7 root races.
7?
Moving on.
Wait, why 7?
Also
I'm
noted
sorry.
androgynous sun and moon. 20. We have 5 epochs so far. The Master Race, the Polarians. 24,000 years later, the Hyperborean realm was created. 24,000 years after that, the Lemurian realm was created. Then the Atlantean, then the Aryan. And according to many ancient scriptures, mythologies, and mystics, there are 2 more epochs to come, meaning 7 epochs, 7 earthly realms, and 7 root races. Moving
Okay.
on. You'll also notice in this realm of Earth we are currently in, there are 4 main races. All the other races in between are mixed races, or rather mixes of these 4 sub and root races. The black races have their DNA lineage from the very first
Oh,
Earth
Charlie.
race, the Hyperboreans.
That's fucking
All native black
rancid,
cultures
you
of this
fucking
realm predominantly
monster.
have their cultural beliefs and practices handed down
You just
by the
farted.
Hyperborean root race, sometimes referred to as the Anunnaki.
You know,
Oriental
Charlie, you're
Asian races
so
have their
fucking
DNA
lucky that you're
from the
cute.
second root race, the Lemurians, and likewise, the Oriental cultures stem their beliefs and practices from the Lemurian root race, commonly and mistakenly referred to as the Reptilians. The Indo-Asian races have their DNA and lineage from the third root race, the
Oh, no.
Atlanteans. The Indo-Asians
Oh no, I
actually
was
stem
so
their
busy
beliefs and
making a
practices
Norb
from the
Qfis
Atlantean
card
root
that I
race.
fucking didn't.
Oriental cultures
Oh,
stem their beliefs and
no.
culture are mixed race
No.
then the Aryan.
You
And
can't.
according to many ancient scriptures, mythologies, and mystics, there are 2 more epochs to come, meaning 7 epochs, 7 earthly realms, and
Just
7 root
decide
races.
that different fucking races come from
Moving
different
on.
eras of the
You'll
universe. You
also
can't.
notice in this realm of Earth we are currently in, there are 4 main races. All
No.
the other races in between are mixed races, or rather mixes of these 4 sub and root races. The black races have their DNA lineage from the very first Earth root race, the Hyperboreans. All native black cultures of this realm predominantly have their cultural beliefs and practices handed down by the Hyperborean root race.
It
sometimes
costs you nothing, Norb Qfis. It costs you nothing to not make your flat earth conspiracy a race realism fucking conspiracy. It costs you nothing. There's no reason for this. There's no reason. There's no. Well, I said I would drink when they did some Nazi shit, and look where I am now. Just pour me another tall glass of racism right there, yeah. Oh, yeah. pass on Nazi propaganda. Yeah, let's justify other people not having the same origin world as us so that we can be racist. Yeah. Because you know that's what it's about. You know, it's not about, oh, look, we're all so unique and individual and we have our own cultures and that's so beautiful. It's really, here's an excuse to other people that you don't want to interact with so that you can be an asshole to them. That's all it is. Like, imagine going up to a black guy and being like, go back to Hyperborea, asshole. Why? Alright, let's keep going.
Referred to as the Anunnaki.
I bet the Atlanteans are the white
Oriental
people.
Asian races have their
Yep.
DNA lineage
Yep.
from the second root
I'm
race,
fucking
the
right.
Lemurians. And likewise, the Oriental cultures stem their beliefs and practices from the Lemurian root race.
Smash this wine glass into my fucking face and end it.
The Indo-Asian races have their DNA and lineage from the third root race, the Atlanteans.
I was wrong.
The Indo-Asians naturally stem their beliefs and practices from the Atlantean root race of the current realm. The Indo-Asians naturally stem their beliefs and practices from the Atlantean root race of this current realm. This means the Indo-Asians or Vedic Indian races are the original root race lineage of this Atlantean realm. And the white races have their DNA lineage from the most recent fourth root race, the Aryans. And of course, most of the white cultural influences we see today are seeded from the Aryan root race currently at the center, Garden of Eden. The Aryans are what most religious texts and mythologies refer to as the current gods, or sometimes fallen angels. The Aryans are also sometimes confused with the Palladians, aka
Wake me up inside. You can't. Am I having a stroke?
currently at the center, Garden of Eden. The Aryans are what most religious texts and mythologies refer to as the current gods, or sometimes fallen angels. The Aryans are also sometimes confused with the Palladians, aka Polarians, who are semi-ethereal beings that live at the very center, Mount Meru, and not in the current Aryan Eden realm. Now, although we in this realm all appear to be different races within our different sub and mixed race lineage and traits, we are actually one race. This is due to the mixing of genetic codes over time. We are all predominantly Atlantean humans, only with slight genetic variances, most notably skin pigmentation, hair structure, eye color, and cultural and religious programs. In fact, most of the racial and religious divisions and wars fought today have their roots seeded from past wars between the four root races. We Atlanteans in this realm inherited our predisposed prejudices of one another from outside influences. Now, we
Okay. We're gonna take back 40% of our accusing this guy of being a huge Nazi. 40%. And here's why. If he had said that the Hyperboreans, the Atlanteans, what are they? I'm sorry. I'm missing one. You can't fucking do that. What is it? It's come on, they're all over the place. Okay. If he had said, "Hi, baby."
You're streaming.
I am streaming. I remember the point I was in the middle of making. Now, here's the thing, right? If you create a theory that says, hey guys, I'm not going to be able to stop looking at this bump on my forehead now. God damn it, Sid. If you create a theory, if you create a conspiracy theory or like a new worldview, let's call this one a worldview. This isn't so much a conspiracy theory. Let's say you create a whole new worldview where you're like, hey, the Hyperboreans were here before us, and then the Lemurians were here before us, and we're the Atlanteans, right? You don't need to then say, well, the Hyperboreans are black, and the Lemurians are Asian, and the Atlanteans are Indo-Asian or like Middle Eastern, and now the Aryans, the people who currently exist in the Garden of Eden, who are you know, like you don't have to say, like, you probably shouldn't use the term Aryan, but you don't have to then say, oh, those 4 other versions of the human race that came from the Polarian gene stock. You don't then have to say that they correlate to the current Atlantean human races. You know, like, you don't have to say any of that, because all that does is that invites exactly what I'm saying right now. It just invites people to call you a fucking weirdo Nazi. That's all it does, you know what I mean? So, like, at this point,
races. All the other races in between are mixed races, or rather mixes of these 4 sub and root
if
races.
he just said,
The black races have their DNA lineage from the very first Earth root race, the Hyperboreans. All native black cultures of this realm predominate.
he, like, the moral of the story, don't connect your weird flat Earth conspiracy theory to real life race politics. Please don't. Please, just don't. Like, you can just say there were 2 races of humans before us, then we're a 3rd race of humans, and there's a 4th race of humans after us. You know, like, you can say that. Like, you can even term them, like, Forerunner, Precursor, us, and then progenited. You know, like, you can use literally any other terms you want, and it immediately doesn't become like weird Nazi propaganda.
Cultural beliefs and practices handed down by the Hyperborean root race, sometimes referred to as the Anunnaki.
Oh, of course, and of course they're the
Oriental
Anunnaki.
Asian
Of
races
course.
have their DNA lineage from
That's on the
second
fucking
root race,
bingo card. That's on the bingo card,
And
the
likewise,
Anunnaki.
the Oriental cultures stem their beliefs and practices from the Lemurian root race, commonly and mistakenly referred to as the reptilians. The Indo-Asian races have their DNA.
I'm sorry. I didn't catch that the first time around. Can you fucking clarify?
Stem their beliefs and practices from the Lemurian root race, commonly and mistakenly referred to as the reptilians.
Asians are the reptilians. Are you fucking shitting me? I think that's some Nazi shit, probably. Like, damn it. Oh, I can't. It's too fucking stupid to parody. It's just... We're gonna look at this guy's channel after this, because this is literally too stupid to be parodied. Oh, God.
The Indo-Asian races have their DNA and lineage from the 3rd root race, the Atlanteans. The Indo-Asians naturally stem their beliefs and practices from the Atlantean root race of the current realm.
We're Atlanteans,
The
thank you.
Indo-Asians naturally stem their beliefs and practices from the Atlantean root race of this current realm. This means the Indo-Asians or Vedic Indian races are the original root race lineage of this Atlantean realm. And the white races have their DNA lineage from the most recent 4th root race, the Aryans. And of course, most of the white cultural influences we see today are seeded from the Aryan root race currently at the center, Garden of Eden. The Aryans are what most religious texts and mythologies refer to as the current gods, or sometimes fallen angels.
The current
The Aryans are also
gods.
sometimes confused with the Palladians.
So let's just do a brief recap of what the various races are called. You know, you got your your black African races, and they're the Anunnaki, otherwise known as, space aliens, who, what does the term Anunnaki mean? Okay. So that's like a deific term. They're a group of deities in ancient Mesopotamian cultures. Not racist. Okay, referring to progenitor of the black races as a type of deity. Not racist. Probably.
Who are semi-ethereal beings that live at the
Oriental
very center
Asian.
of the root.
They're fucking reptilian aliens. Get them out of here. Reptilian alien shapeshifters. That's racist. That one is racist. Indo-Asians, that's just us. We're just not... I guess me, because I'm an Atlantean. Did you know you're an Atlantean being? You're an Atlantean. Oh my god. So we're Atlanteans, so that's fine. And then Aryans are also referred to as gods. So it's like a god sandwich. So it's fine. it's fine. It's okay. It's not racist.
And not in the current Aryan Eden realm. Now, although we in this realm all appear to be different races within our different sub and mixed race lineage and traits, we are actually one race. This is due to the mixing of genetic codes over time. We are all predominantly Atlantean humans. Only with slight genetic variances, most notably skin pigmentation, hair structure, eye color, and cultural and religious programs. In fact, most of the racial and religious divisions and wars fought today have their roots seeded from past wars between the four root races.
Okay. I'd just like to raise a tiny issue with the wording in this section, because he says that we're all exactly the same except for tiny genetic differences, including religious and cultural differences, and he kind of words it in a way where it kind of seems like he's saying those religious and cultural differences are also genetic. That's some Nazi shit also, so I'll take a small sip of wine, but only on a technicality.
We Atlanteans in this realm inherited our predisposed prejudices of one another from outside influences. Now, we hypothesize that all the other Earth realms would have many different multicultural sub and mixed races in their own domains, just like we have in this realm.
Why are you spending...
There are probably thousands of different sub and mixed races and cultures within the different domains across the entire plane of our Earth. But, fundamentally, every root, sub, and mixed race on Earth is of Polarian
You've spent
origin.
4 minutes. You spent 10% of your total runtime on race.
With all the various solar
That's
systems
sus.
and extraterrestrial civilizations divided and separated from one another by the various toroidal electromagnetic fields, aka the Van Allen belts. These electromagnetic belts do periodically open and close or weaken and strengthen dependent on the various universal and cosmic cycles, seasons, and ages. This periodically happens to allow the sharing or rebalancing of conscious energy, technology, and knowledge between all the different earthly dimensional realms. And we are fast approaching the next opening of these electromagnetic barriers. This opening event will be a revelation that will impact us all in this realm, collectively and individually. We can already see the birthing pains of this great cosmic event with the current so-called conscious awakening and unusual weather patterns. Moving on.
But I thought you said we were only 6,000 years in.
We call bodies are just that. They are bodies, vehicles, avatars that carry the real, living, Polarian conscious energy or spirit being.
They got that out of Just Dance.
This conscious energy within us that is here.
Who did these 3D models? Who did these? They're so much better than this content. This video is giving me so many different kinds of whiplash.
Experiencing, learning, growing, and sharing is what some might call a spirit or a soul. This is the real you, your soul, your conscious energy. And we all know energy has no color or race or nationality or prejudices, just polarity, positive energy, good vibes or people or souls, and negative energy, bad vibes, people or souls. And as such, the human...
Why did you spend like 5 minutes explaining the different races and origins of the races and time frames of the origins of the races and like allude to a history of like race wars? Like, why did you do that? Why did you do all of that? Why did you do that? If you just wanted to say, hey guys, racism bad. Like, you set all this shit up for people to take out of context and call you a Nazi. And then you just said, but racism is a bad vibe, bro. And, racism bad. Like, you can't... Okay, let's keep going.
Race is just part of the temporary physical journey, individually and collectively. What many in modern times term as the Matrix, or what the ancients called the Maya.
The Matrix illusion. Is going on the fucking bingo card. I'm making the bingo card after this.
Exactly how cosmic epochs and ages work, using the current Aryan epoch calendar as our reference. You'll notice the outside rings note our months of the year, as well as our 12 zodiac
signs. Use the Aryan epoch calendar.
Why don't we? Are actually a microcosmic reflection of the 12 zodiac constellations. These 12 zodiac constellations are our heavenly cosmic clock rotating above us. As they rotate, each constellation has its own energies that subconsciously influence and help guide us consciously here on the earthly plane, both individually and collectively. Okay. These 12 months are further divided into our 4 seasonal sections: autumn, winter, spring, and summer, which in cosmic terms are known as the 4 seasons of conscious evolution. These conscious seasons are what the Greeks called the 4 ages of man, and Vedic scriptures called the Yuga ages. These 4 Yuga ages are the Golden Age, Satya Yuga.
We're in the
Silver
Kali
Age,
Yuga.
Treta Yuga, Bronze Age, Dwapara Yuga, and Iron Age, Kali Yuga.
We're in the Kali
A full
Yuga.
epoch, 24,000 years, is broken up into 8 Yuga ages. Therefore, each Yuga age is 3,000 years. You'll also notice there are more golden or yellow ages than any other. This is because the golden ages mirror the sun's presence during the course of our 12 calendar month solar season. So as you can see, lots of sunshine in the summer, a little less in autumn and spring, and little to none in winter. Of course, sunshine in this case is translated into conscious intelligence. And obviously, the Yuga ages of our universal summer are much higher states of consciousness than the Yuga age.
Now, I'm wondering where he thinks we are in the Yugas, because I listen to a lot of Mysterious Universe, and they seem to think that we're right about here. They think that we're right at about, we've previously been enlightened, we're losing enlightenment, but we're still okay, and we're about to descend into this nightmare of savagery and unenlightenment and kind of like the antithesis of what it means to live in a golden age, I guess. They think we are entering the Kali Yuga. Now, I'm interested in this guy's take as to whether we're leaving the Bronze Age or the Silver Age, or like where does he think we are? So I want to know.
Ages of the spring, autumn, and certainly winter ages. We also hypothesize that when golden ages overlap within different realms, there are no Taurus fields or separation between those particular realms. This means that when the time comes and the golden ages overlap, all lands that overlap can be crossed in and out of. In other words, those particular domains are open and free to interact without restriction. This is because they are oscillating at the same golden ratio of frequency or resonance. So, let's now map the universal, cosmic, and solar timelines of all the individual realms or domains.
Wait, we can cheat. So, this is Hyperborea, this is Lemuria, this is Atlantis. So he thinks we're here. He thinks we've just entered a Silver Age. Maybe.
Mainstream science tells
If his
us that
graphic
the Iron
designer
Age
is,
began about 6,000 years ago, which
on the
mirrors
same
the
wavelength
reset
as him,
point here,
which-
12 o'clock.
Since they complete each other's souls, I think they probably are.
They
And they're
also tell
also
us that the
fucking.
Middle Ages were about 3,000 years ago from today, which again mirrors the timeline here. And this timeline is also the common narrative among most holy books.
What?
So, our calendar has our realm or domain beginning this epoch 6,000 years ago with the age of Taurus, the bull. Interestingly, the Old Testament of the Bible begins in an age where they worship the bull. This is symbolical of the first 2,000 years of Taurus astrological energy. After some time, bull worship ended with the story of God telling Abraham to stop bull worship and instead sacrifice a ram. This is symbolical of the change from the Taurus bull age into the Aries ram age.
Didn't we just
And
enter the
again,
age of Aquarius?
2,000 years later, Jesus, the fisher of men, comes into play. The Jesus fish symbolism is telling us of the shift from the Aries into the two fish Pisces age. And once again, as we reach the end of the Jesus fish Piscean age, we now see the effects of the new water Aquarian age. Aquarius, of course, is symbolized by the mixing of waters. It is the age of mixing, discovery, disclosure, and technology.
Disclosure.
If we were to set this calendar to today's date, we would be sitting at just before 1/4 reset.
What did I just fucking say? What did I just fucking say? Oh, I have a fucking PhD in crazy. I fucking do. I swear to God, anybody who thinks I don't know every fucking conspiracy is flat out wrong. Fucking proud of myself. Why am I so proud of myself for knowing all the crazy? This is my talent in life. This is my useless superpower. I know every conspiracy and I know every crazy man's innermost secret thoughts. I want to fucking die.
6,000 years into the fifth epoch, bang in the middle of the cosmic
Why
winter
couldn't
or
my
iron
useless
age of universal
superpower been
collective
shit money?
consciousness. In fact, to be a little more exact, we've
Although
got
this
us
ass
at
is
2
cash,
minutes to
though.
midnight being 2020, minutes being years.
I'm editing that out.
Now, this is interesting because mainstream science has something called the doomsday clock. And on the doomsday clock, they are saying the Earth is 2 minutes to midnight or doomsday. It was actually moved from 3 minutes to 2 minutes on the 18th of January of 2018. And I'm sure most of you know that doomsday or apocalypse simply means a marked period or shift or change from one thing into another. The end of the old and the beginning of the new.
We're in the
And
Kali
we are
Yuga,
living in extremely
guys.
exciting times for those who are
COVID-19.
paying attention to what is going on. Knowledge,
Politics.
truth, new information, and discoveries are not to be feared. They are to be embraced. This particular cosmic shift we are about to have is an important one. because it's a
Insert
cardinal
color
shift.
I don't
This
like,
means
man.
all four current
Bad.
earthly domains will simultaneously be experiencing their own doomsday or apocalypse or shift of season. So let's go through each realm's cosmic shift.
Politician is
The
wrong
Central
and
Aryan realm will be having a
stupid.
fantastic apocalypse,
Kali
shifting
Yuga.
up from their bronze into their silver age
Why
of
did he put a little
consciousness.
star on each section?
We in this domain, we're having an okay but confusing apocalypse, shifting up and out of our Iron Age into our Bronze Age of consciousness. Hence the so-called conscious awakening. Knowledge, information, and data are more readily accessible to the masses than at any other time in this era of recorded history.
That's backwards. Knowledge, awareness, and awakening are things that happen in the Silver Age, leading to the Gold Age. They don't. The Bronze, like this is bad. You don't want to be here. You want to be like right here. You know, you want to be from the Silver Age into the Bronze Age. You don't want to be from the Silver Age into the Bronze Age. You don't want that. That's mass societal upheaval, global unrest, societal collapse, the end of civilization. This is the end of the current cycle, so that at this point here, we can begin anew and create a new civilization from the ashes in like 2,000 years, right? It's 2,000 years? I think so.
We can clearly see all these changes slowly
No,
taking
3,000
effect,
years. So yeah, like
particularly in the more
2,500
advanced
years from
regions
now, we
of
would
this
start a new
domain.
civilization.
We
in
get a
the
lot
ashes
of
the
knowledge
old one.
from technology.
Tech.
Now,
knowledge.
the domain
He's
outside
so
of ours,
smart.
Mars
He's
and
fucking
Venus,
woke,
are going
boys.
through a horrible apocalypse. A real doomsday for them as they reset or fall from their golden ages into their iron age of consciousness. And the last realm, the Hyperborean realm, still has one more golden age to go. What's even more interesting, though, is the nature of this current and coming cosmic shift. Like we said earlier, the current shift is called a cardinal shift, meaning we are not only having a zodiacal energy shift, but we will also simultaneously be having a physical solar shift to mark all these changes. This simultaneous double transitional shift is known as a cosmic or galactic alignment. So, 2020 means you have perfect vision. Why 20? Why not 10 or 100%? Well, if you believe, like I strongly do,
Reminder
that
to
we
me
are
when I
running on
edit this,
scripts
put
or
100%
scriptures, some
emojis
that
all
we
over the
haven't even
screen when he
discovered
says
about
that.
ourselves, then you may also hypothesize that in 2020 we will all have perfect vision. What does this mean? It means on the 21st of December,
Yeah, I have perfect
2020,
vision
during
of the
winter
bottom of my
solstice,
fucking wine
there's
glass.
going to be a
Thanks so much for watching, guys. This is a stream clip from my stream last night of me looking at crazy people's crazy shit. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll post the rest shortly. Come join me over on twitch.tv/miss_Utena, and we can watch some crazy shit together. Hope y'all have a good day.